Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan attended the DA's event in Durban and has more for us.
The announcement finally made Chris Pappas being put forward as the premier candidate for the DA in KZN. He walked down the stage to many cheers from the supporters that came with a speech about how he would bring change to KZN. But I'm just going to speak to the DA KZN leader, Mr. Francois Rodgers. So thank you so much for speaking to us. Tell us about, of course, how long has this announcement been in preparation and what put you to choose Pappas as your candidate?
Well, I think when I heard you said there was a cheer from the supporters. I think there's a cheer in the province. I think the province is desperate for hope. And somebody like Chris, with his ability, what he's achieved in Mngeni in a very short time, his ability to connect to people, to be honest, to be open, to be frank, and to deliver on his promises. I think that's what the people of KwaZulu-Natal are hungry for the 2024 election. And that's why Chris was our only choice. Not because he's politically connected to anybody, but because he's the right man for the job.
Certainly so. Now that he is on the front line, he will face criticism. He will face what we saw previously in legislature with racist names being put towards him as well. You spoke about that. Have you been briefed about this, and what are your concerns about this? How will you retaliate this?
Well, it's the only answer or response that comes from the ANC. When we have a DA government like Mngeni and things are getting done and we expose and embarrass the ANC, the only thing they can do is play the race narrative. The South African Human Rights Commission report on water, the first thing that Sibusiso Duma said, he blamed apartheid. And if in fact read the report, the HRC says you cannot blame apartheid for this. We're used to it. We'll take it on. People are tired of that racist rhetoric from the ANC.
There's a campaign now that you will have for the upcoming election. Tell me about how massive this campaign is going to be and what are your target areas per se?
Look, it's going to be huge. You know, wherever I go as the leader of the province, people say to me, we want Chris Pappas here. Chris Pappas must come here. So Chris and myself are going to have a hard task. But I think initially we'll start off in the urban areas, and I think we'll grow that. We need to take Chris and myself to every single corner of the province between now and May next year.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Francois Rodgers. He is the leader of the DA in KZN, and of course going forward he has a massive task ahead of him to take Chris Pappas across the province, introduce him to the people and share that message where they're calling on residents to be responsible and to enact change, they say, by voting for the premier candidate, Chris Pappas. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Karinda Jagmohan in Durban.